Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? I have done most of the ploughing now. We've cultivated a couple of fields, they're completely done and ready and waiting. Today we are going to start doing our fertilizer spreading. Before I can start doing the fertilizer spreading, I'm just going to swap some tractors over. I'd like to put this one finishing off some cultivating and then get the new Zeta, the one that has been parked in the shed most of this series so far. I want to bring that one back, and that's the one we're going to put on the fertilizer spreader because I think it's slightly faster on its feet. So it'll be better for going in between different fields. Anyway, my question for this week is, do you want me to buy pigs this year, or do you want me to wait until next year before we start buying pigs? If we buy them this year, we'll have to buy them at the end of summer, and so that they... we can get some food and sort of get... No! What are you doing? Really? I clearly had right of way there. It was entirely your fault. You've got no one to blame but yourself. Fortunately, you only just smashed my cultivator rather than my actual... Again? Is that a stolen vehicle? Is this what it is? You're driving a stolen vehicle, and because of it, you're trying desperately to make a quick getaway. It's got to be that, something like that. Anyway, so yes, do you want me to buy pigs this year, or do you want me to wait until next spring, summer, before I start buying the pigs? We're going to be buying pigs, it's just when we buy them. Do we buy them immediately, or do we wait a little while? Is your vote, is your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. So yeah, we come up over here, just turn up this way, and... we can put this cultivator here going on this tractor, and there is the Zeta. That one's nearly finished that field anyway, by the look of it. I'll let that one carry on. Actually, it has just about finished. I should have turned in just back there rather than going over the pavement here. Oh well, we'll just pretend that we didn't do that bit. And if I set this one going down here... Now, I have found that if you put the cultivator too close to the edge of the field, it stops almost straight away. It doesn't really like running on the very edge of the field. I'm not quite sure why. Although it did... Well, it did with the last vehicle. Nope, that's fine. I'll let that one go on there. And the Zeta is here. He's done most of it. I'll sort of tidy up the field and finish it off with the New Holland in a little while. This one, we want to get this one back to the yard. The other Zeta is down at the bigger field, and that one, I'm not going to do anything with it today. I will bring it back later on because it's a slower tractor. Actually, this one's the same speed as the New Holland. I'll just pull into the side a second. The Deutz is running over here, and apparently it doesn't own that field. That might actually cause some complications. I'm trying to plough this field here. And I'd like to get this field ploughed so that... How much of this field do I not own? Ah, there we go. Right. This is the last field that we own is not yet ploughed. So that one I'm going to work on. This Zeta down here, I'm just going to move it away from the very edge of the field. And I'll park it up. This one is a very, very slow tractor. It's probably it is the slowest tractor that we own. So I'll move that one back in my own time. We'll just park it up there for now. And let's go back through. You're doing just fine on that field. Let's get to you. So I get this one back to the yard. We can get the fertilizer spreader. I don't know if we've got any fertilizer back at the yard, or if we're going to have to come up to the dealership and buy some there. I was wondering whether or not I should bring a vehicle up and then we tip the fertilizer into the top of the spinner, or if we can just say, you know, we're using a bucket and handball it into the spinner. Not quite sure yet. I'll decide when I go and get it, and we'll see if we got any fertilizer back at the yard. Well, I didn't actually want to do this, but it keeps stopping at the ends of the field, and it's going to make life difficult if I don't. So I'm going to buy this one. It's another 56,000. That will still leave us with just under €250,000, which I'm hoping will be enough. It does mean an extra field, so we've got more... I don't want that one, I want this one. Yeah, it's an extra field, so it does mean more fertilizer in that we've got to do this season. However, I think it's going to be worth it. I think having all this land, come the harvest, we're going to be doing very well for ourselves because we've got a combine. I would like to get another combine. I will look around for some modded combines to sort of fit in with the flavour of this map. I've been asked repeatedly if I could get some Eastern European stuff, like a Bison combine or something like that. I will probably, to start with, will maybe get a couple of old combines. We've got the, like I said, we've got the Massey Ferguson one, the old Massey Ferguson. So we'll get that one going, and then we'll probably find another old combine and run 2 of them. Maybe we can run 3 if we've got enough, although I don't know about that. That's something that we're sort of going to have to look at later on. So let me get this unhitched, and then we'll go and get the fertilizer spreader. I've also got to have a quick look around and see if we've got fertilizer hidden in any of the sheds, because we've got seed. It's just a case of finding out whether or not we've got fertilizer as well. But I don't think we're going to worry about putting using a loader to put fertilizer in. We'll just do it like this. Of course, the big question now is how well the hired help is going to cope with putting fertilizer in, because if you go to I want that one by... I'll buy... How many litres is it? It's 1,000 litres. So if I buy 3 for now. Okay. Yeah, if you take any of the tractors and you put the hired help going with the AI helper, not the standard one, you know, the hang on, where is it? It's Control H. AI vehicle extension. If you put the AI the vehicle extension one going and you try to use that in the fields, it ends up just going around in circles, or it has done so far. So whether it would do that, I'm hoping it doesn't do that with the combines, because if it does, it means that we're going to have to just rely on the standard hired help, which I didn't really want to do with this map. What I wanted to do was be able to use the AI vehicle extension a little bit. Even if we can't use it with the tractors, I suspect it's partly because the fields are all so small. If the fields were a little bit bigger, then it wouldn't be so much of an issue, but I think because the fields are so small, it's not going to let us do it properly. Now then, this tractor, or this fertilizer spreader, is not very wide, but if I get it pointed straight down there, I'm hoping that we'll get this lined up just right. Let me just go forward a little tiny bit. There, I think that should be enough. And we're away. Spreading fertilizer. Right, so this is our first layer of fertilizer going on the fields. The New Holland is down there. He stopped for a moment. We can just hop into that one a minute and just finish that field off. There's a tiny little bit there that hasn't been fertilized. Don't think we'll worry about that. I think it's going to go pretty quickly with just one tractor and fertilizer spreader. We'll see what it's like after it's done a couple of fields, because obviously some of these fields we're going to have to go further than some of the others. So maybe we'll get another fertilizer spreader and put it onto this tractor. I don't think we need to worry about buying more tractors just yet. I think we've got enough to sort of keep everything going. Because obviously, if you're running a big farm, you wouldn't have a tractor for every single field. That's just not something that would happen. So we sort of need to keep that in mind whilst we're working. I am leaving tiny little bits of ploughed ground that hasn't been cultivated, and yes, ordinarily in real life you wouldn't really do that, but I think we can get away with it, because once you've ploughed, you can actually just sow seed on anyway. Zeta Proxima Power has finished already. No, it hasn't. I know for a fact that it hasn't finished. I tell you what, let's jump back to that one, because the cultivating, we've done most of that. Oh, it's because he's gone too far. He decided he was going to go off down the end of the field, and so he's gone a fraction too far out onto this one, and that's what's caused the issue. So if I go here, and you can't get too far away from the edge, because this really doesn't have much of a spreader width here. If I go there, I think it's going to be alright. No, that's going in the wrong direction. It's very easy to get this in the wrong direction with the multi-angle terrain. People did say about this, and I know it is quite difficult to get the multi-angle terrain perfect. Sometimes I think it's really useful, and sometimes it just frustrates me because it doesn't work all that well. But generally speaking, I'm quite pleased with it. Mostly the issue arises when you can't use the auto combine, the AI combine thing. AI vehicle extension, that's the one that we're looking for. If you can't use that one, it can be a problem because you've got to use a standard hired help, and he's got so many different angles that he can go from to do it from. And if you've got to stop and exit and then come back and carry on with the field, again, it does some very weird things. Now, I'm going to cultivate this little bit up here, which is, I would say, someone's little garden, purely because it's going to end up being that gets sown. So if we just cover it in, it'll then be all right. Helper A has completed their task. Which one is that? That is the Zeta. Again, I don't think it has come all the way up and gone all the way back, but we'll just double check in a second. I want to finish this field, so we're at least done with here. We could get then another fertilizer spinner. We'll only get a small one. I don't think we need to get a bigger one. And then this tractor can also start working on a few fields, which means that we should get all of the fertilizer spreading done. Then what we need to do is wait. We'll probably end up having to wait until Saturday or Sunday if you look at the predicted weather there. Saturday is Saturday the 6th, Sunday the 7th. I would say that we're going to have to wait until then before we can do too much, because if the temperature goes to 5 degrees and then it drops back down again, that's when you can get some trouble. But if the temperature it has finished it. It's a little bit up the other end that it didn't do, but we won't worry about that just yet. Let's go into this field here, and I'm going to do one line along the top, and then I'm going to start working up and down, I think that would be the best way to do this field, because I don't want it to go and try and turn around in the water and get lost in the water. Yeah, so if we wait until Saturday or Sunday, the 6th or the 7th, the temperature of the ground looks like it will have been raised up sufficiently that we can go on and do what we want to do. Let me just go down here. There we go. Is this going to be able to turn around properly, or am I going to have to sort of nurse it through all of this? I'm hoping it will turn around properly, but I got a feeling it's not going to. Yeah, we don't own this field. As soon as it moves into you don't own this field, it kind of bugs itself out, which is really frustrating. There's one aspect of this game that really irritates me, and it did back in FS15 as well. The hired help won't sort of switch off and move back to the field that you do own. It just says, nope, don't own this field, I'm not doing anything else, go away, I don't like you. And quite frankly, it gets a little bit frustrating. And yeah, but there's not a lot that we can do about that. So if I just let that one come up, is it going to go any further? No, it's not. It's going to come back this side of the tree. Okay, we'll leave that one going. The plough has finished. I was going to use this one for doing some more fertilizer spreading, so that we can have 2 fertilizer spreaders going. I'll tell you what, we can do that. I will put this one, I'll drop this cultivator off at the dealership, and we can get the fertilizer spreader, and we can get that going, and then the doits can come from the sheep, come back, it can collect the cultivator, and it can carry on and do the other work. So let's just run through here. I didn't put my beacons on. I keep forgetting to put my beacons on as I'm driving around, which is not something that I want to be doing. So let's just come up through here. I'll drop the cultivator right here. We can worry about, I can deal with the getting that last little field. I've got to finish off the ploughing. It won't have finished completely yet anyway. So I can deal with that before next week. And I want to come into here, and we want a fertilizer spreader. Now, I was thinking that we would go for the small one, but now that I'm thinking about it, oh no, that's 28,000 euros. That is a lot of money for a fertilizer spreader. That one is, really? Okay, that little one there takes 700 litres, and it's got a 12-metre spread. That one has a 20-metre spread, and it's 2,000 litres. It looks quite a bit smaller. Yeah, considering that the rest of them are 24 metres, that's 20 metres, so it is smaller. I'm going to go for that one. Let's try this one out. Let's see what it's like. So it takes 2,000 litres, so it's going to take most of the rest of the fertilizer that we're going to be using anyway. Let's just run along here. So there is our new fertilizer spread. It looks out of scale, I've got to be honest. That doesn't look like it would hold 2 tons of fertilizer. I would say that would, I personally think that's wrong. I think it should only be, the 20 meters, I can buy into that, I can definitely buy into the 20 metres. But what I can't buy into is that that holds 2 tons of fertilizer. I would say that that is an error on the part of the design of it, and I would say that 1 ton would be more accurate. A 1 ton bag going into that, I could see that would just about fit. But 2 tons, that's too much. It doesn't seem to fit, to my mind. Yeah, the quantity that's going in here right now is a little bit unrealistic. But we'll go with it. This is what the mod allows, so that's what we'll take. Let's take that one, and let's get going. The Zeta has stopped already, so that one will need dealing with. And where are we going to start spreading? I think if we go up here, we'll run down to where the cattle are, and we'll get started on some of the fields there, because we can go a little bit further with this one. With the 2 tons, we may, it might appear to be unrealistic, but we'll make the best of it, and we'll use it how we can. We'll do this field first. Our new field that we bought over here. Now, hang on, this is a 20-metre spread, isn't it? This is going to be literally like 2 passes across the field and be done. Let's bring it over to there. I want to go in a little bit so that it starts in good time. There we go. And that is a wide spread on that fertilizer spinner. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, there's no denying that that is absolutely brilliant. And it is going to be just about 2 passes. We'll have a little bit up in this corner that it's not going to quite reach. There it goes. But generally it's going to do most of this field in 2 passes. That's actually pretty awesome. Okay, we'll leave that one go. That's the... Right, we've got the plough up here. He's got a few bits still to go. If we start this one going again, and we'll work on the sort of the cross bit up here, and it's done that weird thing again. I don't think that's anything to do with seasons. I don't think it's anything to do with the map. I think that is entirely to do with a bug in the game where it does this thing that it sort of stops on the edge of the field and doesn't like it. See, it's not even working now. It's just refusing point blank to do anything at all. If I go on a little bit further, is it still going to do it? Press H. Oh, it's carrying on now. Completed its task. No, you haven't completed your task. Why won't it... See, this... I think that there is a bug in the game that causes it to do this. I don't think that it is to do with the map itself. Because we used to get this in Goldcrest Valley. It would do exactly the same thing. And it's one thing that would really irritate me about the game is the fact that it would get halfway along the field on the last turn and then turn round. I mean, if you worked like either end of the field and then carried on, it would be fine. It just didn't like it when it was doing it from one end, like working from one side over to the other. Yeah, it's going to stop. It's going to turn around. Okay, I'm just going to walk away from it. Let's just walk away and come back to it another time. Right, you're going to carry on what you're doing there. That field is just about done. We've got a couple of little tiny bits to do here, so we can just pick that bit out. Oops. I don't want to lower it down. I want to turn it on. There we go. And there's that bit done there. Don't think there's anything else down here. It's done a grand job. There's a bit by the trees that we want to do. Is just switch on there. Take out that little bit. Just like that. Don't own the field. And up here we got another little bit down this end to deal with. And then we've got field 21, 22 and 23 still to take care of. So let's come up through here and take care of all of that there. I'm really liking the idea of the 20-metre spread on that Massey Ferguson fertilizer spinner, and I am starting to think that maybe we should just get another one of those. Although I just don't like the 2,000 litres. It just doesn't feel realistic enough for me. I would prefer to have a smaller one, a smaller capacity, 1,000 litre capacity, and do it like that. Although, see, with a pack that is owned and released by someone else, I really don't like the idea of modifying it myself to do it. I mean, I might for like the occasional video, but generally speaking, it doesn't really feel right. Doesn't feel like respecting the modder's work if I go and take it and change it myself. If they release a different version of it, then fine. You know, I can cope with that. What is it doing? I'll tidy up that field and finish that off when we're done. So let's flick through again and we come back to the Massey here. If I... Oh, this is the field. This is the other field that we own. And it's decided to go and do that little tiny bit by little tiny bit all the way up through instead of just doing one pass. So what we're going to have to do is we'll manually come down and tidy this field up. Half of this game is, I think half this series is going to be tidying up the little tiny mistakes that have been made in all the fields. See, it got part way down there. You can see over in the corner on the other field. It got part way down and then just decided to stop and come up along this one. That's not great. Although what I think we will do is after this season, when we come to the autumn, we might very well plough a few fields in together. We're not going to do it this year. We might do it in the autumn, plough a few fields in together, and some of them we'll plant oilseed radishes on, some of them we won't. There's going to be various different things that we do sort of experiment with in the game. Let me come up through here now and start it up there. Actually, I'm going to let the hired help take over for just a moment and finish this field off. The Zeta is doing fine up in the other one. I want the hired help to come down through here, and it's going to stop there. So let me do it myself now. Around there. I have missed... There's a little tiny bit that's been missed in the corner. That'll be okay. Missing tiny little bits, it does irritate me. And I know that some people, when they watch, if you miss little bits, it really frustrates them. And I am one of those gamers that does get annoyed by the little tiny bits being missed. However, it doesn't actually make much of a difference in the grand scheme of things with the overall yield and everything. And since starting the YouTube channel and playing this game on YouTube and doing videos of it, I have had to train myself not to go and chase every tiny little bit, because you just run out of time. You just don't have time to go and do every single tiny little bit. This field here is a little bit too expensive for us this year. Hopefully next year, though, we might actually be able to afford that one as well. We come up here and try and get it lined up-ish. We start there. How's that going to cope with it? Again, it's only going to be about 2 passes on this field, and it'll come whizzing back down. Did we buy that? Yes, we did buy the field in front of us as well, number 78. We've got that one. Is it going to carry on? No, it's not. It's going to stop by the trees. It's going to go back up the other way. Let's jump over and see what this one's doing. It doesn't own this field. Oh, I see. It's gone right away across. It's gone across everything that we own here. It's decided that it's just going to carry right on. And it stopped there. It's done some very weird stuff here. Let's start this one here. And it will spread. It won't do the little strip very well. Come up this bit. We'll have to do our turnaround at the top end. And then we can come back. So, by the end of... by next week's episode, I'll have finished doing the ploughing over on that last field that we've got to plough. And I'll get that cultivated and spread with fertilizer as well. We've done most of the fertilizer spreading now. There's not going to be a great deal left to do. I will have some of it going in the next episode, but the next episode is going to be mostly about getting started on spreading seed. So I'm going to get a couple of... I'll probably actually get 3 seed drills. I may even get 4 seed drills. Although I'm not sure. No, I'll get 3. I think we'll just stick with 3. I think 3 is better. Up there, and now if I come whizzing over here, I've got a little bit over there that needs to be gathered up. Yeah, so I will probably get 3 seed drills. There's a little bit there that we haven't cultivated. I'm not going to worry about that, though. 3 seed drills. They'll be running, and we're going to plant wheat, we're going to plant barley, and I think we will plant canola as well. We'll do the standard crops, and we won't do... Actually, maybe we should do beans instead of canola. I don't know. I'll have a think. We're definitely going to do some wheat and barley so that we can get plenty of straw. We do want plenty of straw available for both pigs and cows, so it will be neatly put away into the sheds and stored. I've got this last field here now, and because of the way that it did it, it's going to go a bit crazy if I try and do it with the hired help, so I'll just do this field manually. Yeah, I think we'll probably do it in patches. So all of these fields over here by the pigs, we'll do these with 1 crop. All of the fields over by the cows we'll do with another crop. And then the other few fields to the left, which is... Hang on, I better just switch that one off a second. Yeah, we've got one field here, 86, and then we've got 3 fields here by the sheep. 2 of those fields are grass. Oh no, that one there is 39. It's the one we just bought, isn't it? So that one field there is grass. We'll do those 2 fields and that one the same crop. The ones around the cows will be the same crop, and the ones around the pigs will be the same crop. Probably we'll do barley there, wheat there, so the straw from those 2 can go straight into the pigs and to the cows. We can put them into sheds there. And then this one here will be canola or beans. Let's just take a look. Canola is exactly the same here. Sugar beet, soybeans. Soybeans require 10 degrees in the field. And it's a later planting window as well. I think we're going to do it anyway, though. I would like to plant soybeans because it's, it's different temperature and everything. So I think that's what we'll do. We will plant soybeans in the other field. My question for this week is, do you want me to buy pigs this year, or do you want me to wait until next year before I start buying the pigs? We're going to be buying pigs. We're going to do pigs on this map. I'm probably not going to do sheep here, but we are going to be doing pigs. And if we buy them this year, it could be quite difficult to sort of juggle everything, because we'll obviously have to plan the crops a little bit different. We may end up having to buy a load of food for them as well, just to sort of make sure that it works properly. Or we could wait until next year so that we can get some things established this year, and then we can change our cropping plan for next year, and we can get some corn in the ground, that sort of stuff, so that we can get the pigs set up as well. But it's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. I've just about finished all of these fields, and that is all of them now, isn't it? I think that is every single field here by the pigs spread with fertilizer. I will go back over to the dealership and get a little bit more. Although I'm thinking that maybe I could just retire this one. It doesn't really matter because I'll be doing all of this off screen now. I will finish doing the fertilizer spreading. These fields here are done. Let's just a little blast onto that bit there. Right, that is the pig fields done. I'm working on the cow fields with the New Holland at the moment, or he's just parked up. He's finished that field. We'll go and get another one going, and then I don't have very much left to do, so I probably won't fill this one up again. I'll just do it with the one tractor because it's just going to be me that's doing it. Through you, and there we go. We don't own the field, of course we don't. Start up again. I've just got this top end to do here, like this. There we go. And so yeah, we should, in our next episode, beginning next week, we should get started on the planting. And then once the planting's done, we've basically got to... we will need to do a bit more fertilizer, won't we? There will be some more fertilizer that needs to go onto the fields, and... well, we're going to need 2 more lots. As soon as the planting's done, we can put 1 more lot of fertilizer on, and then we're going to have to wait a growth stage before we can do any more. And that's going to be the bit that's going to take a while, is waiting for the next growth stage. But that'll be sort of through the rest of the spring and working on into the summer. And then what do? Well, after that, we've got to keep the cows going. Then once we get into summer, our grass fields will be ready, and we're going to need to be thinking about doing some cutting. Cut a load of grass, and we haven't planned for silage either. It's going to have to be grass silage, unless we whole crop one of the fields of wheat or barley, whichever one we do down here. That might actually be better, I think, because I haven't really done very much in the way of whole cropping before. I did do a bit. We did take a look at doing some. But yeah, I think that if we whole crop one of the fields, that'll give us some silage in the clamp. And silage in the clamp is always going to be good for the cows. That way we won't have to worry about baling in the clamp. And I'd rather not bale in the clamp. I'd rather not bale silage this year. I think it would just be easier and more convenient if we clamp silage and do baled hay. Because we're going to be doing a load of baling. We're going to need to bale a load of hay, and we're going to need to bale a load of straw. So doing more baling as well for silage, I think, is just going to get a bit repetitive and dull. So if we avoid doing that, and instead we focus on making a clamp for the silage, I think that could be a bit more entertaining, a bit better to watch. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.